midday update from the GoldFish Report. I'm hearing things in my earpiece. It's very noisy in the press room here. This is an economic report from Larry Kudlow this morning in terms of the concerns by economists who had not predicted that there would be, there were concerns about the dividends and stock buybacks, and basically Larry Kudlow's response was that primarily Larry Kudlow's response was that the investors are going to reinvest that money, and that's not a concern to him. He also said very strong business investment spending, although that it was a little soft in Q3. The GDP was 3.5%, which was really good, and of course with the latest production numbers in addition to that. With lower tax rates on large and small businesses. So the focus is on this. Basically, this is an incentive policy in order to stimulate the economy. Basically, he feels that men and women should own and operate their own country, be part. Basically, he feels that men and women should own and operate their own country, be part of the economy in this way. He says, "I think this will be the best business investment cycle we've had in 20 years." He also says that we have this lame duck in terms of questions regarding anticipation of a lame duck Congress. He's not expecting to really get anything done, although he thinks that it's possible. But he thinks that it's the Trump tax reform 2.0. Basically, he says, "I think the tax reform 2.0 will be put through the House." Ken Brady has also already introduced that. We're all looking at it, lots of changes. Basically, his policy is this. He's representing the administration, stating that flatter rates for everybody, especially middle class people, get rid of the loopholes, a more efficient, pro-growth type of policy and economy, flatter rates for middle class, but it is early yet. But he doesn't expect these things will get done in the lame duck Congress. As far as the Democrats taking over the House next year, he definitely doesn't think that there's going to be. His opinion was this: that he doesn't really think there's going to be too much obstructionism going on, because what he has and what he's trying to reiterate is that he hasn't seen any results that would roll back the Trump economic growth policies of low tax rates, and the policy is this. Low tax rates, small and large businesses, individuals, especially middle income individuals, low marginal rates, and rollback of deregulation across, and of course, the surge in energy as well. So what we have here is response. This is what basically is the engine behind this growth, responsible for the growth rate was less than 2%, and these policies are now higher than 3%, over 3% growth. And so that's what he's attributing this to. Doesn't think that his opinion on immigration is this, that if it is done correctly, if it is done properly, that immigration will actually be good for our economy, but it has to be done properly. So if he says if we do things right, then this would be the case. It's very busy here, so I'm trying not to get pulled over. In terms of the G20, he deferred answering questions specifically about the president's schedule change because he said Mr. Bolton will have more to say on that, because that's really not in his forte, his scope of work, since he's an economist. In terms of, he did not want to comment right now about the volatility, although he did say that the VIX was not bad, but to keep faith and let's give these incentives a chance to stimulate the economy like he is planning. And so far, it's been doing really well. He says recession is so far in the distance you can't see it. That's his exact quote. And criticisms of the tax bill was that, what about having extra tools in the toolbox for the future recession? And he basically just said that, what we're having is the corporations, this is an incentive policy for growth. It's a very pro-growth policy. And they're creating incentives. This is essentially This is a different type of tax cut when you're creating incentives in the policy, creative massive incentives that you haven't seen since the early 90s. And so uh, this will reduce marginal tax rates for individuals and businesses. So basically, the whole concern is that if you have more money in your pocket, you're going to spend more. That's going to stimulate the economy. Um, the wages are doing very well, particularly blue collar wages. In fact, that is the indicator that they were using to show the increase, the health of the economy was how and how the expansion is flourishing. So of course, oil prices dropped $20, so that will help a lot. Inflation is coming down, and basically, he's expecting if the economy grows faster than expected, those deficits will also go down, as there are some increasing deficits as well. But basically, they have a policy for this. They have a very different approach. It's an incentive approach. So uh, we have already seen these indicators, these are strong indicators. This is what's moving this economy right now. Just give it more time because President Trump's had 2 years to basically get these policies in place. And now with the lame duck Congress coming up, it will it or will it not be more difficult? And Larry Kudlow just basically felt that what was important was that the president gained seats in the Senate. So in order to get the cooperation that he needs in the Senate, he is, very confident that he'll be able to continue with these policies that are pro-growth policies and stimulus incentive policies. So that's the update and on finance, and that was a nice opportunity to have Larry Kudlow um, stop by this morning, and of course we just had a visit from one of the turkeys. We don't know which one it was because we don't know which one is pardoned. But we'll see which one gets pardoned. It was a nice little visit from one of the turkeys who was here, and his feathers were a little ruffled for a few times, but I think overall he enjoyed the visit. So that's our finance update for today, for this afternoon.